Hi, and welcome to the first module of the Commercial Property Investment and Development course at PropNav. I'm Sam, I'm the founder of PropNav, and I'm excited to guide you through this fundamentals of commercial property section. Just a bit of background about me before we start. I've been investing and developing in cross-sector real estate for a number of years, particularly focusing on the commercial sector, which includes industrial, retail and office buildings. Before that, I studied commercial real estate at the University of Reading, and I'm also a member of the Royal Institution of Chartered Surveyors. So this is the first module, and this is just an overview of commercial real estate and what we're going to cover in the course. So in this module, we'll cover the basics of commercial property. We'll explore the key differences between residential and commercial properties, and we'll delve into the different market segments and examine the economic indicators and market trends that shape this industry. We'll also touch on the important regulatory and environmental considerations in the UK commercial property market. Let's crack on. So first, let's define what we mean by commercial property. Unlike residential, which is focused on housing, commercial real estate focuses on buildings for business purposes. These can range from office buildings and retail spaces to industrial units and multifamily housing. Other minor sectors include the leisure sector and hotels, which we also touch on throughout this course. Understanding the difference between the sectors is essential because the drivers of value and the strategies for investment are different in commercial compared to residential. So the commercial market is split into several key categories, as I've already mentioned, being offices, retail, industrial and others. Each of these segments has its own characteristics. For example, the demand for office space can be driven by economic conditions and business growth, whereas the key drivers for retail spaces are typically consumer spending and location. So next, let's talk about the differences between residential and commercial property in a bit more detail. One of the main differences is the valuation techniques. In residential, properties are often valued using comparable sales and their income potential from an investment perspective. In commercial property, factors like tenant quality, also known as the covenant strength, the lease terms, and the income generating potential of the property play a significant role. In both residential and commercial property, from an investment perspective, the yield is still used. Another key difference is the nature of the leases. Commercial leases are generally longer term, with more costs and maintenance expected from the tenant, which can work in the landlord's favour. The income streams can therefore be more predictable, which can make commercial properties attractive for investors seeking stability. However, this can also mean that the barriers to entry for commercial property can increase, and there may be high upfront costs and more complex due diligence associated with commercial properties. Now, let's explore the market segments in more detail. The office market, for instance, has been evolving with trends such as remote working and the demand for flexible workspaces. Generally, offices outside of major cities have struggled in recent years since the rise of home working following COVID. There is, however, a push for highly sustainable offices. This is because companies have ESG or environmental social governance criteria that they need to fulfill. Retail has faced its own challenges, particularly since the rise of e-commerce. However, location in this sector remains a critical factor. Well-located retail stores continue to perform well, and it is evident that consumers are still willing to go out and purchase their goods from retail warehousing, from high street retail, or from shopping centres. The industrial sector has really benefited from the rise of e-commerce and is expected to continue to do so. This market has been very successful in recent years. It's important to note that all markets are cyclical and there are repositioning opportunities such as converting offices to residential, which have led to profits being made by investors in underperforming sectors. Factors like GDP growth, interest rates, and inflation all impact property values and yields. For example, a lower interest rate environment can make borrowing more attractive, which can in turn drive up the demand for commercial properties. On the other hand, economic downturns can lead to higher vacancy rates and reduced rental income. This can worsen investor appetite. A market trough or slowdown can lead to good buying opportunities. Timing is critical in capital growth. So we must consider the regulatory and environmental and sustainability factors when looking to invest in commercial property, particularly in this day and age. In the UK, regulations such as the Energy Performance Certificate, or EPC, requirements play a crucial role in property management and valuation. Sustainability is increasingly important, with more investors looking for green certified buildings that offer energy efficiency and long-term cost savings. There are current EPC targets that investors must be aware of in commercial property. EPCs had to be an E by 2023. There are forecasted deadlines of April 2011 when EPCs must be a C or above, and this level is expected to increase to a B or better by 2030. This leaves an excellent opportunity for investors in commercial property to improve the energy performance of an asset and thereby increasing its long-term value. Investors must stay informed about these regulations and consider how environmental, social and governance or ESG criteria affect property values and tenant demand. Properties that don't meet these standards may face higher operating costs or reduced attractiveness in the market. So to summarise this introductory section to the course, understanding the commercial property market in the UK requires knowledge of various property types, an awareness of economic indicators, and a keen eye on the regulatory and environmental considerations. This foundation will serve you well as you progress through the course. I recommend going through this module carefully, taking notes at each stage, and it is key to understanding the basics of commercial property before we proceed going through the course. The quiz at the end of this module will help reinforce your understanding, and should you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. All the best.